Good afternoon from Silverstone for the British Midland 250cc Moto Prix trophy race, the second round of the British Championship. And as you can see, the conditions far from ideal around this club circuit. Very wet indeed as the grid assembles after two warm-up laps. After the first round, Carl Fogarty leads with 15 points. Second place, Gary Cohen. Third, Kevin Mitchell. Fourth, Phil Borley. Fifth, Ian Burnett. And sixth, Steve Patrickson.
A rundown now on the grid. Obviously they line up as they finished the first leg at Mallory Park 2 weeks ago. In pole position, Carl Fogarty. Then comes Machin. Cowan, number 21, is in second. Machin is in third. Then followed by Hislop, Mitchell, number 10, Donny McLeod. Donny McLeod should go well in the wet. He likes the wet. So the men on the front row obviously have the best of Carl Fogarty. Zooming in now, number 3. He's the man who won the first round at Mallory. And that's the man we'll be looking at next to him, number 21, Gary Cowan.
So 15 laps of this 1.608 mile Silverstone Club circuit. Very slippery conditions indeed. The first round 2 weeks ago in equally bad conditions at Mallory Park. The red flag still being shown to the riders. An obstruction on the circuit at the far end at the moment. The grid still being assembled. That's Carl Fogarty on the front row. Alongside him, Gary Cowan, Kevin Mitchell, Phil Borley, Steve Patrickson, Dave Redgate, Kim Barker and Andrew Nelson. And there's the clerk of the course, Jim Parker, showing the riders the red board. They're now looking at the red lights. When they go to green, this 15-lap race will be underway. They switch the green. The race is underway, and it's a good start there by number 3, Carl Fogarty on the Honda. Fogarty leads as they go up the main straight into Cott's corner. Number 3, Carl Fogarty in the lead, trying to go right the outside of him. Number 1, Andy Machin. The pack streaming through Cott's. Up to Maggott's curve, absolutely flat out before they sit up and brake hard for the right-hander at Beckett's. That's Andy Machin now snatching the lead. In second place, Carl Fogarty. Machin leads, number 1, Fogarty. Trying to come around the outside, and in third place, Grand Prix regular Donny McLeod. Down the main straight, under the bridge, approaching 140, 145 miles an hour before they brake for Woodcote Bend to end their first lap. But it's Andy Machin leads, Carl Fogarty in second place, Donny McLeod third. Machin sits up, number 1, that right knee out, into Woodcote. Machin slips his way through very tricky conditions. Then Fogarty, then McLeod, then Gary Cowan. No doubt about the leader as they go up the straight. It's Andy Machin. Fogarty taking a long, hard look behind him. Donny McLeod in third place. Gary Cowan's in fourth place. But a good start by Andy Machin.
Well, I noticed they've all gone for wet tyres. There was no question now when the race got underway as to which tyres they should use. There was a little bit of question in practice. We didn't know whether it would be dry or wet, but certainly they've had to go for wets. And there you can see Andy Machin now stretching away that lead. Donny McLeod told me he wasn't too keen on the wet, but he's looking good there. Looking very, very good indeed. Machin just pulling away a little bit. Riders very, very touchy on this circuit. Looking over his shoulder, tucking in behind the fairing. So Andy Machin so far, that's the gap. I'll put the watch on him next time he comes round, Nick, just to see what the gap is between first and second.
Under the bridge they come. Machin leads, McLeod second, and it's Fogarty up into third place. Interesting this, that's Andy Machin. His father, George Machin, was an extremely good rider, and Carl Fogarty's father, George, also a good rider. So two sons doing very well indeed at the moment, but that's Machin leading as they're on their third lap up to Cops Bend. Second place now, Donny McLeod. Donny, Grand Prix regular, finished 9th in the British Grand Prix at Donington Park. He's completed a full season of Grand Prix racing this year. A very experienced runner, surely the most experienced runner in the 250 class in Great Britain. He missed the first round of the championship because of his Grand Prix commitments. He rode in Spain last week in the Portuguese Grand Prix, and he's raced back to England to ride Dr. Joe Ehrlich's EMC. He's in second place, but it's still Andy Machin in the lead. Riding 23-year-old Andy from Lincoln. He's had 12 wins already this season, tucked into the fairing there of his Spondon Rotax as they race down the main straight, approaching 140, 145 miles an hour. Then they have the sit-up, brake very hard for Woodcote Bend, a very different Woodcote Bend on this club circuit. That distinctive star in his red helmet as they come through Woodcote. McLeod second. Fogarty and Cowan having a real battle for second place, but Machin and McLeod really a battle of the up-and-comers and the Grand Prix regular.
McLeod, they're still in second. Fogarty down in third. Number 21, Gary Cowan, still there in third place. Cowan again told me he didn't like the wet, but he's really having to go now. McCowan has been on the continent doing Grand Prix all season. This is the second round of the British Championship. He had to come home to defend, of course, the second place, which he found himself in after the first round at Mallory 2 weeks ago. And now he's having a hard go on the inside, of Andy Machin, and he's through. Donny McLeod taking the lead. Machin hasn't let him go, tucked into the slipstream. Andy Machin went wide there, left the door wide open, and McLeod was through.
So down the main straight they come, under the bridge, and Machin's certainly shown a little bit of extra speed from the Spondon Rotax as they race down the straight. They're side by side as they come into Woodcote. Who's going to have the bravery to break late? It's certainly Machin at the moment. Number 1, Machin leads. McLeod in second place, just tucked in behind him. Still a good battle for third place between Gary Cowan, Carl Fogarty and Kevin Mitchell. And Machin up the main straight towards Cops Corner. McLeod looking up the inside. Will he get through the inside? The back wheel just steps out as he breaks it on the EMC in the Cops, but a tremendous overtaking move there by McLeod. So Scotsman McLeod now leading from Machin. They're on their 5th lap, and it's Machin and McLeod bringing a great show in the very, very damp conditions.
That's where he did it last time, Nick. Now let's see if Andy Machin can pull back in exactly the same place as they chuck it into what is now a very, very tight right-hander there. And Beckett's before they stream away down that long straight right across the middle of the infield towards our commentary point now, that new very tight Woodcote bend, but he's still holding on. Machin still not able to close the gap. McLeod still there in the lead. Machin in second. Coming down towards us under the footbridge, sits up, down 3 gears, into the right-hander. Machin looking around the outside.
McLeod then leading into the start and finish straight, but Machin tucked in behind him. Gary Cowan's in 3rd place, number 21, and in 4th place, the championship leader, Carl Fogarty. Up the main straight they come. They're now on their 6th lap of this 15-lap race. Again, the back wheel of that EMC just stepping out as McLeod breaks for Cops Corner. McLeod safely through, followed by Machin. Then the battle for 3rd place. Through the spray. McLeod flat out through Baggett's curve before he sits up and brakes for Beckett. Machin closing up on him as they brake for Beckett. They're already lapping the back markers. 23-year-old Machin behind 31-year-old Donny McLeod. 9th in the World Championship last year. He finished 9th in the British Grand Prix this year, riding Dr. Joe Ehrlich's EMC. McLeod very, very keen indeed to come back to Silverstone to show these young pretenders to his crown as top British rider that really they've still got a little way to go. But Machin now closing up as they come into Woodcote. Machin sneaking through on the inside at Woodcote, so Machin again in the lead. They come in to start their 7th lap. It's Machin in the lead. Will McLeod getting back on the exit? McLeod got a better line, but Machin holds firm, absolutely side by side up the main straight as they go away towards Cops. Machin and McLeod. Will McLeod get inside? McLeod's done it. McLeod just dives inside Machin as they go through Cops on their way to Baggett.
I think Andy Machin's got to learn a little bit about that approach to Cops, Nick, because he leaves that door wide open every lap and lets Donny McLeod through, so that's where he's going to have to close the door if he's going to stop him getting through on the last lap. McLeod still leading. Andy Machin sitting up now into the right-hander. They've now pulled away.
So McLeod almost losing it then as they go through Beckett's corner, getting it absolutely sideways. He hangs on, but Carl Fogarty is off. The championship leader, Carl Fogarty, is off. He's crashed his Honda. There he is lying on the ground. He's certainly sitting up, the stretcher being prepared for him, but it's Carl Fogarty off and out of the race. These are back to the leaders. It's now Machin sneaking inside McLeod once again as they go into Woodcote corner and closing all of the time. The man from Northern Ireland, another Grand Prix regular on the Honda, that's Gary Cowan. But Machin certainly seems to have got Woodcote very well lined up indeed, Barry, but seems to let himself go a little bit into Cops and into Beckett.
Yes, he does. He runs wide in Cops, and that's a big problem. McLeod's done it again. McLeod on that inside line. Even though he had that hairy moment, he's got back on form. He's back on the boil again. And of course, Gary Cowan's got him right in sight now. He's up with them. We've now got a 3-man race. You could almost put a tent over these 3 first men as they go in. A little twitch there from Cowan, a bit of a twitch. The circuit is very treacherous. Machin looking around the outside, and they're almost on the inside. Cowan had a look, nearly went through. This is great stuff, Nick.
Tremendous race. Two Grand Prix regulars, that's Donny McLeod and Gary Cowan, against Andy Machin, who's got 12 wins in Britain and a win, in fact, in Belgium this year. So Machin, a lot of experience, but he really is racing against the very best. They're coming up against the back markers now. 33, Gary Miller's in for a tremendous shock as they come into Woodcote. Back marker's probably going to play an important part of this race a little bit later on, but it's McLeod leading. Machin second, Cowan third. Past the back markers, that's number 49 they're past, that's Philip Carter on the Rotax, another shock for him, and these back markers could play a very important part in the outcome of the race, because certainly in these very difficult conditions, these three leaders, that's Donny McLeod, that's Andy Machin and Gary Cowan, really won't want back markers to get into the way or have to move offline out of the slippery conditions. So we're still racing through now Maggots on their way to Beckett's. This is where Donny McLeod so nearly came off 2 laps ago. Very gingerly through it, and really the back markers now playing a very big part in it, Murray. The back markers getting in the way. Donny McLeod using a lot of Grand Prix experience there to get away from the back markers and slow the people up behind him.
Only just over halfway through the race, so still a long way to go, and these back markers will present a real problem over this short circuit, because it's highly possible they could be lapping them twice by the end of the race. But McLeod, as you say, and there, of course, Gary Cowan ducked through as well, so the three are all together again. The three are all together. Cowan took advantage of that. Now very, very close. As they streak away, there's Machin still, another back marker in the way. But Cowan is still weaving his way through these back markers. McLeod leads, Machin second, Cowan third. A clear track ahead of them, at least for the next few minutes, as they streak away. A quick look over the shoulder, and a wobble.
So the riders now on their 10th lap, 5 laps to go, that's 10, Donny McLeod leading through the flat-out Maggots curve. He sits up and breaks now for Beckett's inside another back marker. Andy Machin, number 1 behind him, and in 3rd place, Gary Cowan from Northern Ireland riding the Honda. Broke his foot earlier this season in the Grand Prix ride, but recovered well. And there's Donny McLeod, a long, hard look behind him as he races down the straight through the spray. I'm sure his visor and the screen of his EMC misting up as he comes through. Under the bridge, 140, 145 miles an hour, now braking hard, down into 3rd gear, or perhaps even 2nd gear in these difficult conditions. Donny McLeod, number 10 on the EMC, starting his 11th lap. 2nd, number 1, Andy Machin. 3rd, Gary Cowan, 21. And I would think at the moment, Barry, Gary Cowan, happy probably just to sit there for a minute and just watch the action in front of him before making a move during the last couple of laps.
I think you're probably right. There's every possibility with the way McLeod's storming on, he just might do something silly, such as he did 3 or 4 laps ago. And I do think Cowan is sitting there, as you so rightly say. 250cc water-cooled twins, it's incredible, Nick, the power and the speed these bikes deliver.
So McLeod leads, brakes hard into Beckett's, where he's had a few problems earlier, got in a very big slide, very lucky to stay on, rather more gingerly this time on his way through. The 31-year-old Scotsman, former British 250 and 350cc champion, races down that club straight before Woodcote. There's Andy Machin in 2nd place from Lincoln. I'm sure his dad's watching in, very proud of him indeed, a former racer himself. And you can see the gap now. Perhaps they're just dropping Gary Cowan a little bit. Perhaps we've been a little bit unfair to them, and they're opening up a little bit of a gap as they come in to start their 12th lap. Donny McLeod past the back marker once again. That's number 58, Martin Bartlett, getting a little bit of a shock. McLeod's past it, Machin started, but really now it does appear that they're dropping Gary Cowan slightly, and it's going to be a battle between the lad from Lincoln, number 1, Andy Machin, and the very experienced Scotsman who's done a full season of Grand Prix racing, former British champion. Going wide there, a bike off there, in fact, at Cott's Corner, and both going wide round a back marker, safely through, approaching Maggots curve, flat out on a 250, approaching 130, 135 miles an hour before they brake, sit on the brakes very hard indeed, go onto the club circuit. The Grand Prix circuit, of course, runs on then when they go around this long right-hand bend, very slippery indeed, and then down the main straight, but it's McLeod leading and Machin second. So McLeod and Machin, and certainly down this main straight, Barry, Machin seems to have a little bit of extra steam, which could be very important in that last lap.
Well, it's interesting that the Rotax is going as quickly as it, and he's done exactly to Donny McLeod what Donny McLeod did to him. He slipped through, and now he's in front. McLeod fighting back, twitching again. Andy Machin taken back into 2nd place, so there's a lot of swapping going on now, Nick, between these two. Donny McLeod sits up, hooks it down a gear, front brake hard on. Has dropped Machin away, so McLeod is much, much quicker around Copse than Machin was, heading up towards Maggots curve, over the brow of the hill. And that really is a 2-horse race. They've left Gary Cowan behind. They're fighting this out between themselves, still among the back markers. A brilliant ride so far. Let's just hope they stay on it.
Yes, conditions really are very bad indeed. They're racing through the spray. And all riders, of course, very unused to this Silverstone club circuit. This is the first time a major motorcycle meeting has, in fact, been held on this 1.60-mile club circuit. So really everybody at a disadvantage, and they tell me it's very, very slippery, approaching the part of the track they're on now. As they come through Woodcut, it's McLeod leading, Machin second. They actually come over the grid, the white lines where the car Grand Prix starts from, and it's very slippery indeed. And once again, back markers playing a big part, and it's Machin back in front. Machin taking advantage there of a little bit of indecision perhaps by Donny McLeod, getting past the back markers. They're now trying to get past Raymond Beers on his Honda, and it's Machin and McLeod absolutely side by side. They're on their 14th lap as they side by side as they go through Copse. They're now going up to Maggots, the flat-out right-hander at Maggots. Up that, Machin's done it again. Machin's just slipped his way through Maggots, of course, sitting up for Beckett. This is a tremendous race between a young pretender, really, a man who wants to go Grand Prix racing, 23-year-old Andy Machin, number one, and 31-year-old Scotsman Donny McLeod, who knows all about Grand Prix racing. And really, this is a tremendous battle in the conditions as they race down the straight, under the bridge. They sit up for Woodcut for the very last time. They'll be on their very last lap, and it's going to be fast, very hectic, Barry.
Well, the Rotax had the legs down there on the EMC. Machin again nipped in front. Got the inside line this time. He's got the inside line. McLeod's forced to go wide, taken up his stance because he slips inside at Copse. Let's see how they fare as they come among the back markers. Number 10, McLeod, on the inside. Number 1, Andy Machin. McLeod leads again. That's about the 10th time they've swapped places as they came past our commentary point. And back markers have played a very big part on each of those occasions.
Well, just a mile from home for this tremendous British Midland Moto Prix trophy race. The second round of the British Championship. McLeod now putting in a great charge, trying to get away from Andy Machin. They're going round Beckett. Machin really's got to make his move now. They're less than half a mile from home. Slipping and sliding a little bit as they go through, now down the main straight. Machin's got to make his move now. It's all going to depend on Woodcut corner, who's going to be bravest on the brakes at the end of this straight. But I think Donny McLeod has probably now pulled out a big enough advantage over Machin, though Machin trying very hard indeed as they come into Woodcut for the last time. He's trying to go around the outside, but McLeod holding the better line, but Machin still trying extremely hard. McLeod's going to hold it surely, though. Number 10. Donny McLeod wins the British Midland Moto Prix 250cc trophy race. Second place, a marvellous ride there by Andy Machin. We look for third place, it's Kevin Mitchell in third place, and in fourth place, a Gary Cowan. But a great ride there by Donny McLeod. He gives a wave to Andy Machin. These two really have put on a marvellous show. Very, very difficult indeed. Carl Fogarty, the championship leader, crashed. No doubt about the winner, though. A tremendous win there by Donny McLeod, and in second place, Andy Machin.
Yes, there's the full result. Victory for Donny McLeod in that tremendous battle with Andy Machin, and it's been confirmed as Cowan third and Mitchell fourth. Cowan getting third place ahead of Kevin Mitchell, and that means that Gary Cowan takes over at the top of the championship table. He leads by 4 from Kevin Mitchell. Carl Fogarty in third with Donny McLeod. Fogarty crashed, as you saw. We hear the news that Fogarty has been taken to hospital with a suspected fractured leg.